Hey, it's Kevin Gilligan at photosbykeg.com, and today I want to talk to you about some equipment because if you're a photographer like me, you like equipment and it's fun to check it out. This is the DJI Ronin SC. It is a gimbal stabilizer for mirrorless cameras, small to medium ones, nothing too heavy. Here I have the Fuji X-T4 on it with a 16mm fixed lens. This works pretty well in this size. This is a nice little setup to stabilize if you're going to run and gun and do some video. It has some cool tricks where you can rotate 360 around and do some videos that way. It's not the easiest to set up. When I first set up the gimbal, it took me a while, I have to tell you. It's got 3 axes to adjust, so it goes this way and that way, pan, tilt, zoom. And it takes some time to balance, and then you use your phone and you do a balance test, and it'll tell you if it's balanced. I had to go into the instructions a couple times to get it right, but now I think I understand how it works a little better. But just a word of caution, if you're thinking you're going to get it just out of the box, take it and go for a run on video. It's going to take you a minute, so be prepared for that. Also, you have to be concerned about the weight and the size of the lenses and the camera that you're using. I have this great Fuji 50 that I really like for some nice shallow depth of field. It's funny, I have a Tamron cover, but it is a Fuji lens. It's too heavy for this setup. Really, I have to use the fixed lenses that Fuji has, the 16 and the 56, and it works great. But this particular one, the Ronin SC, is designed for a smaller mirrorless camera, so keep that in mind if you're doing it. It has some nice features. It's got a long battery life. I do like the fact that it has a pull focus on it. If you get one of their extended versions on the creator pack or something like that, it has a pull focus wheel, which is really nice. And you can see here that you can pull the focus on this, and I don't know if you can see it from here, but you can make it pretty blurry, which is nice. And then you can focus in and sharpen it up depending on your camera settings. You can also make the camera autofocus all the time. On the Fuji settings in here, if I have it on autofocus, it will stay sharp all the time, but if I put it on manual focus, to do that I have to turn this around on the Fuji and go to the manual setting right there, and then I can pull focus on it. Otherwise it'll stay focused all the time. But if you want to get some cool settings that are blurry and then sharp, that's how you do it. And then standard phone up and down on this, and side to side and all around. So, and it's got a nice stable tripod base here, which folds up and is straight if you want it, so you can carry it with 2 hands and use it. But it's a pretty good little setup here for a light camera. I would so far recommend the Fuji X-T4 setup on the DJI SC. Make sure that your firmware is up to date, otherwise it won't work properly. I will follow up with you more as I use it some more, but those are my first thoughts on it. Battery life is pretty good. It's pretty solid. It's got a pretty big battery right here, and you can always check the battery here, which is nice because it has 4 little lights. Now I'm on 3, so I've been working on this for about an hour, and I'm at 3 already. So, not terrible. And another little thing to be careful of or be aware of if you're new to this is you need to go into your camera settings and set the time that your camera stays on for battery, 30 seconds, a minute, or on all the time. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep turning it on and off again. All right. So I will follow up and get some more on this. Hope you're having a good weekend.